Good morning, class. Today we are going to be reading Each Kindness by Jacqueline Woodson and illustrated by E.B. Lewis. And before we actually read the book, I want to ask you a few questions. Have you ever been left out or ignored maybe by friends or even family? Or have you ever left someone else out? Maybe because you didn't get along with them or you thought they were different than you.
Yes.
Yeah? Now, I want you to think about what kind of impact that had on you and maybe the people around you. Do you think it had a big impact or a small impact?
A big one.
A big one, right? Okay. Well, the story we're going to read today is about a girl who was left out and bullied by her classmates. And as we read, think about what the author is trying to say or what the theme is in the book. Really trying to think about the theme. Okay. So, that winter, snow fell on everything, turning the world a brilliant white. One morning, as we settled into our seats, the classroom door opened and the principal came in. She had a girl with her, and she said to us, "This is Maya." Maya looked down at the floor. I think I heard her whisper, "Hello." We all stared at her. Her coat was open, and the clothes beneath it looked old and ragged. Her shoes were spring shoes, not meant for the snow. A strap on one of them had broken. What is the author saying about Maya in this page? Like, what has she described her as?
She has a lot of old clothes and old things.
Right, yeah. So do you think she's kind of different from the other kids in her class, maybe? Yeah. Okay. Our teacher, Miss Albert, said, "Say good morning to our new student." But most of us were silent. The only empty seat was next to me. That's where our teacher put Maya. And on that first day, Maya turned to me and smiled. But I didn't smile back. I moved my chair, myself, my books, a little farther away from her. When she looked my way, I turned to the window and stared out at the snow. And every day after that, when Maya came into the classroom, I looked away and didn't smile back. My best friends that year were Kendra and Sophie. At lunchtime, we walked around the schoolyard, our fingers laced together, whispering secrets into each other's ears. One day, while we were near the slide, Maya came over to us. She held open her hand to show us the shiny jacks and tiny red balls she'd gotten for her birthday. "It's a high bouncer," she said. But none of us wanted to play. So Maya played a game against herself. That afternoon, when we got back into the classroom, Maya whispered to me, "Bet you can't guess who the new Jacks champion of the world is." Behind me, Andrew whispered, "Chloe's got a new friend. Chloe's got a new friend." "She's not my friend," I whispered back. The weeks passed. Every day we whispered about Maya, laughing at her clothes, her shoes, the strange food she brought from lunch. Some days, Maya held out her hand to show us what she had brought to school. A deck of cards, pick-up sticks, a small tattered doll. Whenever she asked us to play, we said no. The days grew warmer and warmer. The pond thawed. Grass began growing where snow had once been. One day, Maya came to school wearing a pretty dress and fancy shoes, but the shoes and the dress looked like they'd belonged to another girl before Maya. "I have a new name for her," Kendra whispered. "Never new. Everything she has came from a secondhand store." We all laughed. Maya stood by the fence. She was holding a jump rope but did not come over to ask us if we wanted to play. After a while, she folded it double, rolled the ends around each hand, and started jumping. She jumped around the whole schoolyard without stopping. She didn't look up once, just jumped, jumped, jumped. The next day, Maya's seat was empty. In class that morning, we were talking about kindness. Miss Albert had brought a big bowl into class and filled it with water. We all gathered around her desk and watched her drop a small stone into it. Tiny waves rippled out, away from the stone. This is what kindness does, Miss Albert said. Each little thing we do goes out like a ripple into the world. What do you think about what Miss Albert is saying on this page? What do you think about it?
That even if you do something small, it like ripples out, like it could reach maybe a lot of people.
Right. Okay. Thank you. Then Miss Albert let us each drop the stone in as we told her what kind things we had done. Joseph had held the door for his grandmother. Kendra helped change her baby brother's diaper. Even mean old Andrew had done something. I carried teacher's books up the stairs, he said, and Miss Albert said it was true. I stood there, holding Miss Albert's rock in my hand, silent. Even small things count, Miss Albert said gently, but I couldn't think of anything and passed the stone on. What are some acts of kindness that you have done, would you say? What would you say as you put the stone in the water?
I got something for my friend when she asked.
Okay, that's a good answer. That was very kind. Okay. Maya didn't come to school the next day or the day after that. Each morning I walked to school slowly, hoping this would be the day Maya returned and she'd look at me and smile. I promised myself this would be the day I smiled back. Each kindness, Miss Albert said, makes the whole world a little bit better. But Maya's seat remained empty, and one day Miss Albert announced to the class that Maya wouldn't be coming back. Her family had to move away, Miss Albert said. Then she told us to take out our notebooks. It was time for spelling. That afternoon I walked home alone. When I reached the pond, my throat filled with all the things I wished I would have said to Maya. Each kindness I had never shown. I threw small stones into it over and over, watching the way the water rippled out and away, like each kindness done and not done, like every girl somewhere holding a small gift out to someone, and that someone turning away from it. I watched the water ripple as the sun set through the maples, and the chance of kindness with Maya becoming more and more forever gone. And that's the end of the book. So, first let me ask you, how does this book make you feel?
Really sad.
Okay. Now I want you to think about why you feel sad. Do you have an answer for that?
Because Maya probably feels really bad.
Right, yeah. Do you think kindness has a ripple effect? After reading this book, do you think it kind of does what the teacher was saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you think that unkindness can have a ripple effect too?
Yes.
Yeah, that maybe those mean things those kids did to Maya, that had a big impact on her life. And if they had just smiled back something small, maybe that could have had a ripple effect in her life, a good ripple effect instead of a bad one. So why do you think that these things have ripple effects in our lives?
Because like friends are important,
Mm-hmm.
and when you have friends and there's kindness in it, it helps you in just like day to day.
Yeah, that's very true. Now, after reading this book, what do you think the theme is of the book? What do you think was the main takeaway, what she was trying to say with this book?
Always always be kind when you have the chance.
Very, very good. Yes, kindness and taking the chance to be kind, because everything we do has a ripple effect in people's lives. And take the time to be kind, because you never know when you won't be able to. Because Maya moved away at the end of the book, right? So our main character couldn't make it up to her, even though she felt really bad. She couldn't do anything about it because her chance had gone away. So it's important to take our chance now while we still have it before it's gone. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. And now we are going to be doing a little theme worksheet. Okay. You're going to put what the main theme is right here in this top part of the umbrella, and then all the little examples that you have for thinking of why that's the main theme in these little bubbles here. And then it asks you this question at the bottom. I know this is a unifying theme in these texts because you will put your answer. So that's the activity that we're going to be moving on to. Thank you.